this is just a really quick video where I show you how I put on dots on a cake basically. So it's just really easy to do, but I sometimes find when I'm putting pearls or dots on my cakes that I end up with them unevenly spaced. So this is the way that I do it to make sure that they are nice and even. So I've got a cake here which is a 6-inch one that's just coated in icing. Now I do have another video showing you how to ice the cake, so I'll put the link to that video on, and you can spend a little bit longer than me in getting it nice and neat. So this cake is just on a board underneath, and I've just put it on a wooden board just for the time being. So I'll move that out of the way. Now what I've done is I've cut out a length of greaseproof paper. Now I apologise that I'm not showing you exactly how I do this on here. I had to cut this out the other week for another cake, so I thought I'll just reuse it and show you guys how it is that I've done it. So I've cut this out and I've made sure that the width of it here is similar to the cake. So it's a little bit taller. My cake comes to about here. And what I've done is I've measured out spaces and put a little cross everywhere that I want a dot to be. So they're evenly spaced here, and then you go up and again evenly space them, but so that the midway between your other two crosses, to put a cross here. Okay, so your distance between the crosses this way is the same as the distance between your crosses this way, if that makes sense. So I'll tell you what the measurements are that I've got on this one. Between each of my crosses, it's 4 centimetres that way, and this way, again, it's 4 centimetres. So the difference between this line and this next line would be 2 centimetres because it's halfway between, if that makes sense. Okay, so once you've done that, what you want to do is you're going to pin it around the cake, and then when we've pinned it around the cake, we're just going to push a little pinprick through each cross so that it leaves a mark on our cake, which will then show us where we need to put the dots. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see it on here, and I'm just using some dressmaking pins for mine. Now, when attaching things with pins, just make sure that you have removed all the pins, because you definitely don't want to leave a pin in somebody's cake. Okay, so we've got a straight edge. What we're going to do is just push that round. So around this side here, we'll put a couple of pins to hold it in place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the pins where those crosses are. Sorry if my arm is in the way there. So I'm just going to push them in a little bit. And then I'm going to pull this around the rest of the cake. Now mine's a little bit shorter than the cake. So what I'll do is when I've put the indentations in, I'll take it off and I'll move it around to do the bit around the back. But of course, if you're doing it, you can do the piece of paper so that it's as large as your cake if you want. But what you're going to do now is everywhere where you've got a green cross, you're just going to push the pin just through ever so slightly so that you get a little dot underneath. So I'll do that all the way around. Okay, so once you've done that, you remove your paper and obviously make sure you've taken all your pins out. Now I don't know if you'll be able to see very well the little dots on here that have been made by the pinpricks, but they are on there, and obviously if you're doing it yourself you should be able to see them better than you can on this camera. I think I need to buy a better camera. So what I'm going to do now is just roll out some icing. I'll do it in a different colour to make some dots so you can see where I put them on. I've dyed some fondant purple. See, I've dyed my hands as well. So I'm just going to roll it out nice and thin. If you find it sticking, just put a little bit of corn flour or Trex down on your work surface. So I'm going to roll it out quite thin because I don't want the dots to protrude too much from the side of the cake. Now, my icing's quite soft because of how much food colouring I have put in. Quite often, if you want to colour your ice in a really deep colour, sometimes it's better to buy it ready coloured. So you can see mine's gone that soft that I've managed to tear it as I'm rolling it, because the consistency of it has changed with all the food colouring that's been added. So I'll just have to avoid all the bits with tears in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just using a little plunger cutter, I'm just going to cut out a little circle. Obviously you don't have to use a plunger cutter. And you can either put your water, and we're just going to use water as like a glue, either just on your little pinprick on your cake, or if you prefer you can just put it on the back of your icing in there. You don't want to put too much on if you're using a dark colour, because you'll find that the dye seeps into the water and stains your cake. Okay, so what you're going to do is everywhere that you've put a pinprick, you're just going to push your little polka dot on like so. So hopefully you can see me doing that. I'm not very good with getting things in focus for the camera, so I do apologise. I'm also struggling to see a little bit where I put my pinpricks. So there's another one there. Okay, and I'm just pushing them on just to make sure they're stuck on there properly. And I'm going to continue doing that all the way around. You should be able to see the dots now on the cake. Apologies, it's not a very good shot. I do need to learn how to use the camera properly. So they're more evenly spaced than if I'd just done it by hand. So hopefully it's a useful tip that you'll be able to use. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video and would like to see more, please click on the images of the other videos suggested. Also, please do subscribe to my channel using the button at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You can also visit my cake website and my Facebook page to see more cakes and ideas.